Welcome to the IPEtronic Tech Support video series. These videos will guide you through commonly asked support questions. Today we're going to look at the CANsend function on our IPEmotion RT Data Loggers and on a USB to CAN adapter if you're using IPEmotion PC. First, we're going to answer the question why this function exists in the first place. Then we will show you how to configure it on a data logger, and finally how to configure it in IPEmotion PC on a USB to CAN adapter. So let's imagine you're bringing in CAN data from multiple sources. In this example, let's assume that we have the following sources: CAN-based sensors that send CAN messages straight to the data logger, signal conditioning modules that convert analog signals to CAN and send them to the data logger, OBD2 messages that are requested from the vehicle, and ECU communication, which could also require Seed&Key files as well as XCP and CCP communication. In this case, the logger acts as a gateway. It handles all the communication and also the decoding of messages. If we want to send all the collected signals to a third-party system, the CANsend can be a very easy option to do so. We take all the signals, bundle them on one CAN, and send them to a third-party system. In this case, the example is a dyno. The computer controlling the dyno does not have any other jobs aside from controlling the dyno. It is not common for these devices to support things like OBD2 or ECU communication with Seed&Key files. It is, however, likely that they have an open CAN port that we can use to bring in our data. All it takes is an import of a DBC file. There are many other examples where the CANsend feature can be useful. Anytime that the logger is being used in a gateway-like fashion and needs to provide information that it collects to another system. So how does this look in IPEmotion RT? We have created a demo system on an IPlog2 that includes a module CAN, OBD2, XCP communication for ECUs, as well as a sensor CAN. All channels that are selected as active are available for the CANsend function. Pick an unused CAN channel that you've selected for the CANsend. Right-click, Components, and add Traffic. When the traffic channel is highlighted in your Signals tab, go to the Format Details tab and check Output instead of Input. We will now move on to the Acquisition tab. Find Message Sender in the tree, right-click, and add CANsend. This will bring up a pop-up window where you can select from the active channels. Use Ctrl-A to select all active channels, or hold Ctrl to select individual channels. When the CANsend that you're working on is highlighted in the tree, go to the Channel Details. Select the target channel that you've prepared in the Signals tab. That CAN channel will now broadcast all the messages that you've selected. We will now export a DBC file that contains all of the signal information for the send channel. This file can then be imported into the third-party system. Right-click on the CANsend function that you'd like to export the DBC file for, and select CANDB Export. Choose a save location and save your file. Here's what all this looks like when you're using IPEmotion PC instead of a data logger. For this example, we've selected a vector CAN interface with 4 CAN channels. 3 of the 4 channels are configured in a similar way as on our data logger: OBD2, measurement, and ECU communication. Again, we have the option for Seed&Key communication for XCP or CCP. We will now assign the traffic channel to the 4th channel that is still open on the USB to CAN adapter. Just like before, we will make the switch from input to output in the Format tab. The remaining procedure is identical. We switch to the Acquisition tab, add CANsend, select the channels that we want, and then export a DBC file. If you have any questions or require additional support, your IPEtronic tech support team is happy to help you. Reach out to our central support email or contact your local IPEtronic office.